Hey guys, I know World War II Zombies is right around the corner, so not a lot of us are going to be thinking about Black Ops 3, but there are a few things that we all think about in the back of our minds and haven't forgotten about, and one of those is the impossible Easter egg. And there's definitely a little bit of downtime right now with zombies, so I wanted to take this time before World War II comes out to revisit this impossible Easter egg and see if I can find any more information that might shed some light on it. One thing I just love about you guys is y'all will share information that you find and send it to me. Like, I'll get videos or just, email messages about things that you guys find that you think are interesting, and I like to look into it and investigate it to see, could it actually be something. So thank you guys. I love you for that. And that's one thing I love about this community is just working together to solve things. So I got a video from FTJ Gaming and Trading, so big shout out to him. He sent me a video talking about something he had seen on Shadows of Evil, and he had noticed that when he got the KN-44 off the wall with a diamond camo, it appeared to be flashing some kind of Morse code. In the video, he went to some dark corners in the map and it definitely showed like a flashing, and he pulled out some of the other guns with diamond camo on it and it didn't do that at all. So I was definitely interested in looking more into this. So I didn't have an account with all diamond camos because you have to earn that in multiplayer. So I borrowed my friend's Matrix account. So thank you so much. Shout out to you for that. So I went in and put all the diamond camos on all the weapons. I went into Shadows of Evil. I got the KN-44 off of the wall. I went to a dark corner to, make sure I could see it pretty well. And yeah, it was flashing, pretty obvious, like dots and dashes, like it was trying to do a Morse code. I had gotten the KRM off the wall. And when you switch to that, you can see that there's not that same type of animation on, the camo. And even for like the Shiva and the other wall buys in this area, there's no flashing like there is on the KN-44. Like right here, I'll get the Shiva off of the wall, and you can see that, the camo doesn't have any type of animation whatsoever. But when you switch over to the KN-44, it's definitely flashing. So at this point, I was like, this is definitely interesting. I do want to translate this Morse code, but first I want to find out if the diamond camos on the other guns flash as well. So far, I couldn't find any. And again, remember, I'm not a multiplayer, so I don't have diamond camos on any of my guns, so I needed to actually go and look. Some of you guys might be like, yeah, it flashes on this gun or that gun. Like, I don't even know if this animation happens on this gun in multiplayer. And as most of you guys already know, there's been speculation about this KN-44 and like there being more to it, and Jason Blundell definitely hints towards that, and I'll show you a segment of a video where he says it, but it shows up in weird places. Like it comes flying out of Dempsey's capsule when he comes crashing down on the Horizon Easter egg. It shows up during one of the other steps during the Horizon Easter egg, and it shows up with this weird zombie wearing a white coat. Now, from what I understand, that weird zombie with a white coat that can just appear in your game is some type of like dummy model that they test with, so I don't think there's anything to that. And let's not forget the most important and most bizarre place that this KN-44 shows up, and that's on the picture on the giant. Like it's torn up around the map, you got to put it together. Like, what is going on there? That is so weird. I think that's one of the Easter eggs that's more obvious of like, this has never been explained and it doesn't make any sense. And there is a slight chance that the flashing on this gun could relate to that picture. Now, it might be a really far-fetched idea, and to some people it may seem crazy. To some people, it might make sense, but I'm going to show you guys the information and y'all can decide. But first, I want to show you the video clip where Jason Blundell is talking to Dalek, and he's saying that, yeah, maybe we should look more into the KN-44, and then goes on to say that maybe the giant picture is something we should be looking at.
There's a lot of weird KN-44 appearances.
Yes.
And I was wondering, is that anything that we need to look into, or is that just weird?
Feel free to look into it. And then you forget also you got the picture as well.
What, on the giant?
With the hypercube.
With the KN-44.
Okay, so right there, Jason Blundell is saying to, look more into it, and then he mentions the picture on the giant. Like, you guys need to go check it out. It's still unsolved. You need to go figure out what this means. I'll have this video linked down in the description, but go and watch the way Jason Blundell looks while he's trying to answer that question. He almost looks like he's reading something on a wall across the way. Like, he just does this weird thing with his eyes, like he's just thinking really deeply about it before he answers it. So just kind of strange. I don't know what to think about that. I was just thinking maybe we could like read his body language to learn more about like how important is it, but he definitely went into some serious thought before he answered that. So the next thing I did was go to another map and get the KN-44 off the wall to see if the flashing is happening on that camo on another map, and I went to the giant. And yes, it definitely is flashing. And at this point, I was able to see the flashing really well to see if it actually could translate if you were to use Morse code, and it actually does. And just to see if this was specific to zombies, I went over to multiplayer to see if the camo flashes on multiplayer, and it does flash on there as well. So if you were to use Morse code to translate this, the best it translates is into the word time, T-I-M-E, and then it like stops, and then it flashes the word over again. So there's definitely a break, which you have to have if you are trying to translate what is supposed to be Morse code. So this definitely has all those properties. It's got the correct like dot dash patterns. It's got the break that you need. And I was really surprised that this did actually translate into a word. I tried all the different letter combinations and it does not spell anything else. So if it were going to be something, it would have to be the word time. So after I saw this, I was like, well, maybe it's just animation. Maybe it's nothing. You know, where am I going to go with this? This is so crazy that, you know, this camo could be flashing Morse code. That just sounds crazy, but it actually would be a very cool Easter egg if this were what it's supposed to be. So I was like, I'm going to look into, you know, some other stuff related to the KN-44. Let's go check out the giant picture and try to break it down and see what's going on there. That's still a big mystery. It's got a KN-44 on it. Like, what's going on here? Jason brought it up in the interview. He made it sound important, and he mentioned that there was a hypercube in the middle. So I started researching, like, okay, what's the hypercube? How does this relate to this picture? There's a hypercube in the center. It looks like it's inside of the summoning key, and then it looks like the KN-44 is inside of the hypercube, and I've got it outlined in red right there. And then there's another reference to a hypercube up at the top left. And those are the only two things I'm going to be focusing on here. The other drawings seem to be related to like transport and density. So this hypercube that's in the center is actually called a tesseract. And a tesseract is a reference in quantum physics that helps to represent the fourth dimension, or 4D. I know you guys don't want a quantum physics lecture, but you guys are familiar with like 1D, 2D, 3D. You know, we're basically in a 3D universe, and, you know, philosophers for a really long time have been debating on, like, what exactly is fourth dimension? There's the whole question, is the fourth dimension a spatial one, or is it time? And that's where I was like, that's kind of interesting. Let me look more into, like, what this time thing is talking about. And I was finding a lot of articles where philosophers were saying, is time the fourth dimension? That they have debated the nature of time long before modern physics. But in the 100+ years since Einstein, the prevailing view in physics has been that time serves as the fourth dimension of space, represented mathematically as 4D. Okay, so the diamond camo on the KN-44 flashes the word time. If you were to translate it from Morse code, then you see the KN-44 in the middle of the tesseract. The tesseract represents 4 dimension, and 4 dimension is, you know, debated about meaning time. So I don't know. I'm just trying to connect the dots the best that I can. This could be a huge coincidence. They didn't mean for any of this to happen, and I'm not being biased towards this, saying this is what it is. I'm just showing you guys the information, and y'all can decide, you know, what you think about it. I just wanted to show you like what I uncovered and the best way I could connect the dots and try to make it make sense. Because so far, this KN-44, yeah, I have no idea. It just doesn't make any sense. And even this is a little far-fetched, but yeah, who knows with Treyarch. And if they did mean for the camo to flash the word time and for it to be related to this picture, then what does that even mean? Like, that just doesn't even make any sense. Where do you go from there? Everybody go get diamond camo on your KN-44 on multiplayer and then go play zombies and uncover some Easter egg? Who knows? I don't know. All of this just seems really strange, but again, it does connect. And I don't know if they would have an Easter egg where it's like, you gotta go level up your guns on multiplayer to find something on zombies. Now, they did do something like that in Nightmares mode. You had to go play Nightmares mode And then you could do an Easter egg on zombies during Valentine's. When you shot the zombies, instead of blood, you would get these black hearts that would float up. So that was really cool. And for my brainiacs out there that just love quantum physics and have some input on this, definitely comment down below. I'm sure everybody would love to know your thoughts on this. And I know there's all different ways to like spin things and speculate on things, but this one just has such a really strong connection with the Tesseract, 4D, time, the gun flashing time. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Definitely let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you next video.